Merry Christmas, dear listeners. Once more, the festering season is upon us. Each Christmas, I celebrate the grim tidings by sitting at my dining room table, a cup of coffee on one hand, a can of beer on the other, and reading an H.P. Lovecraft story each night of the 13 nights of Christmas. Won't you join me this Cthulhu Christmas? Here's the list of this year's stories. I've even checked it twice to see which are virtuous and which are pure vice. This year, I've decided to peruse some of the more obscure Lovecraft stories. So, here's the list of 13. 1. The Evil Clergyman. 2. Cool Air. 3. The Tomb. 4. The White Ship. 5. The Beast in the Cave. 6. The Moon-Bog. 7. The Terrible Old Man. 8. The Crawling Chaos. 9. The Unnamable. 10. In the Walls of Eryx. 11. Dagon. 12. The Alchemist. The Alchemist. And number 13. And last, but perhaps best of all, Herbert West, Reanimator. All of these stories are found in the book I'm currently reading, The Transition of H.P. Lovecraft, The Road to Madness, while audio recordings for all are available on Horrorbabble. I still like those guys, even though they keep saying I'm dead. Fools! And every 5 days, I will list the 5 stories we have just finished reading or listening to and ask you to pick the best one. And now, kiddies, Christmas wouldn't be Christmas, wouldn't be a Cthulhu Christmas without a recitation of that classic Christmas poem I wrote myself. 'Twas the night before Cthulhu. Gather round the laptop now and listen. 'Twas the night before Cthulhu, and all through the tomb not a night gaunt was lurking. Anywhere in the gloom the entrails were hung with the gravest of care to attract any ghouls who were prowling round there, and each festering coffin was home to the dead who had visions of Rylea in each rotting head. So I lay down to rest, not eternal lie, for who is not dead cannot really die, when out of the darkness I heard a galumping, a sound like the Dunwich Freak's rhythmical thumping, and then to my bulging eyes did appear a sight that was ghastly, gruesome, and drear. My nostrils were flared by a terrible stench. 'Twas old high karate applied at full drench. I had to choke back my intention to puke when my bloody eyes saw a foul orange toque on the head of a man with both glasses and beard, and a slab of a belly that made him look weird. How I wished I was mad, how I wished I was snoring, when I suddenly grasped I was staring at Warren. And then, in a voice more Garfield than mellow, the fat-bearded twit began he to bellow from cracked drooling lips that bubbled with froth. the names of his herd of shambling Shoggoth. On Harley, on Carter, on Abdul Alhazred, and don't lag behind, you hoary old bastard, and don't whine to me that you find yourself tired, on Gedney, Danforth, Armitage, and Dyer, and don't dawdle there at the rear of the bunch. I'm a-talking to you, here, Dr. von Junst. We interrupt this poem for an editorial note. In naming my herd, I'd no room for the best. No Zadok Allen, no Doc Herbert West. We now return you to our poem. Then up to my shunned house they went with a bound, alighting like they were the hound on the mound. And then down the chimney old Warren he fell, before he unleashed a most hideous yell. As to the cause of his titanic ire, well, the old fireplace had a roaring fire. He put out the flames, for he was still smoking. Then, in a voice like Sasagua croaking, he said, "Have you been wicked? Have you been bad? Have you been evil? Have you gone mad? Have you been stuck on a lonely life raft with nothing to read but Howard Lovecraft? Then come read with me, and here are the choices. Don't be catonic, come lend me your voices. Help me to peruse my H.P. read list, and you'd better help, or I'm gonna be pissed. You know what I mean. Yes, you know. So leave your thoughts in the comments below." Then Warren lumbered off like a bat out of hell, leaving behind just his fetid smell. But over the shoulder of his grimy shirt he had just time for one final blurt. "Happy Christmas to all, and Cthulhu Fhtagn! Cthulhu Fhtagn!" If this is your first visit to my channel, please consider subscribing. My name is Warren, and I write and tell original ghost stories and original horror stories featuring such cryptids as the Night Floaters, werewolves, and the Black-Eyed Children. And since Christmas is here, show your Christmas spirit by subscribing. Till midnight, Merry Christmas, and Cthulhu Fhtagn! Cthulhu Fhtagn! Pictures used in today's video, courtesy of Pix Here, that's PX Here, while the music was the Sugar Plum Dark Mix by that patron of the internet, Kevin MacLeod.